Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, today we are joined by perhaps the luckiest man alive, or is it the genius of Raid? We've got Odd One Gaming in the house. Odd One, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good, mate. How are you doing today?
Yeah, doing really well. Look, I think it's time to explore your free-to-play account. Some people cannot believe their eyes or their ears when we kind of talk about this account. And honestly, for me, I've never seen such crazy pulls on an account in this type of time period. So I want to kind of dive into that, but also I want to talk to you about how impactful some of those champions have actually been versus you deciding to use other champions that are perhaps more accessible because they just do a better job.
Yeah.
So we're on Odd One's free-to-play account here. Free-to-play.
Free to play.
We are, what, 53 days in. Got a nice epic book today. So I guess elephant in the room, it feels like your account must have been one of those accounts that had the enhanced chance to get a legendary in the first, 3 days. You know, some of us got one, some did not. Because on the first day, I think it was,
Yeah,
you
first day,
pulled two, did you? Did you get two?
So no,
gods?
I pulled. I think it was it was the same day. So I pulled Tomb Lord in my third shard, I think.
Third shard,
that was funny revelation because as I mentioned before, Tomb Lord was my first legendary on my main account.
Yeah, because you even called it, didn't you? When we were like, oh, who would you like? You were like, oh yeah, kind of like a Tomb Lord.
Tomb Lord. Yeah,
and then up, like, bam, first legendary that pops out.
I couldn't believe my eyes. Like, it was insane.
Yeah, but then also on within a few days, you'd also pulled.
It was the same day, I think. Like
same day, yeah, I think it was. It was during a 2 times Ancients, wasn't it? You pulled yourself a Green Warden.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and
I guess
he's in the same build he was on that day when I pulled him on the third, fourth day, because with the champions that I have and like the direction I was going, he didn't bring too much to me. So he was just, I got the legendary, but he's in the vault. When Silver Watchers are gonna open, I'm gonna use him.
Of course, we don't even have a faction wars for him to fight in right now. So have you used him at all?
I used him in the first week. He was my shield set champion. So up until I got my quarter 5 champions to 40 to 56 star, he was in there. After that, he just straight up came out because he doesn't bring as much as I'd like compared to what other options I do have. So after that, he's just in the vault, honestly.
Well, let's talk about that then, because I mean, as I said straight out, if I just bring some of the craziness out of the vault, maybe that's it. Actually, Taurus kind of good. Otherwise,
maybe for Grizzled Jarl, it's pretty fine.
Is good. Yeah, probably after that it becomes a bit worse, right? But ultimately, for an account which is less than 2 months old, I mean, can you believe the amount of legendary champions that you've pulled in that time?
It's insane. I basically have what, six legendaries.
You got 6, so I guess we got one for free. Insane. We can't count that. You got a second one for free because
I got a second one for free because the boosted odds.
And then you won one. So actually 3 of your 6 are a little bit kind of like, well, you didn't just randomly pull these. 3 of the 6 are just kind of in the mix. But since then, you also grabbed Lissandra.
She's a game changer. She's...
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, the replacement, the thing was like this. Another funny one, kind of look at Tomb Lord. I was saying on the day that I was pulling, I need somebody to speed up my team to get me moving. If not, I'm going to build the Haikatun that I got in the same day. So because I got Lissandra, obviously I didn't build Haikatun, but Haikatun would have been a replacement for her, but obviously Lissandra's better. Like, not gonna argue with that. Yeah,
so Lissandra and Tomb Lord are actually both pretty top tier, aren't they? As champions.
they're amazing. Like, they're not S tier like a Duchess or a Krisk, but they're like next level down. They're definitely amazing. Definitely made it easier.
I think what everyone else is finding unreal is that you've then pulled a Cold Heart. So you grabbed a Cold Heart from a Void. Yeah. You've also pulled an Anax, a Geo, and a Farakin.
Like, I'm definitely the luckiest. Out of all the challengers, at least, I'm 100% the luckiest. The luck has been insane. So, kind of in a way, because of that, I had to, I mean, to be fair, I would have grinded the same because that's my style. But I had to, grind extra to show that, because
because, I mean, look, I've done free-to-play series. It's my third one, I think, maybe even my fourth one. And I've had it. Whenever you get any champion that's half decent, all the comments are like, "Oh, you're so lucky! I can't believe it." And actually, before that, you need to understand what the game is. Yeah, you need to understand how
Exactly.
to play the game. You need to understand how to gear champions to get the best out of
Mhm.
them. You need to understand how to form teams. Because
Yeah.
actually, when we start to look through your account, yeah, you've had great champions. That's cool. But also, what you've managed to do is pull them together to beat the content. Yeah, and
Yeah.
obviously your knowledge of the game is second to none. You know, we've got you beaten Ice Golem 20. What you on Dragon 20
Dragon
farm?
20, yeah.
You know, in 50 odd days, irrelevant of the champions.
This one I have not pushed. This is the next thing that I'm due to push because obviously the arbiter missions. But
Yeah,
just a quick note, like regarding the shards, I was saying this like on my streams and stuff. It's kind of like it's a blessing but a curse at the same time because I'm not the biggest content creator for Age of the Legends. Some people know me, but for somebody that is still growing and still trying to show what he knows, getting
yeah.
so many good champions does not help as much.
Doesn't
It's like,
help. No, I
yeah, he's
suppose
good.
not. Yeah,
No, he's good at pulling shards.
yeah, yeah. But I guess like
Yeah.
I've booked. I've got one legendary, and it's the one I
Yeah.
got for free. Yeah, I got Ronda.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But I've used most of my legendary books. I've only got 3 legendary books left. So you must be.
I've fully booked my Tomb Lord, but because all the books went to the A1, and same thing with Lysandra. I'm still 3 books away from fully booking her because 4 books went straight into A1. So,
Yeah, and
I mean,
and one thing that's really obvious when you start doing these free to play accounts is the champions. A lot of them really require their books. Yeah, and
yes,
I'm finding it with my epics.
yeah,
Sepulchre Sentinel, she's good as a clan boss champion, but without books, she's way worse, right? And she's
yeah,
way
yeah.
less consistent. And I guess when you've got legendaries, it's far harder to get the books
So
to
much
really
worse.
make them impactful. Like you've got 3 of your 6 here that aren't even leveled.
Yeah,
Probably
exactly.
because you
That's
struggle to use them.
the thing is like this. So if I have so many champions, but you do not get the resources to level and book every single one of them. So it's like I had to choose like, okay, from what I have, what's my best score and what's the best way to go about to push the content. Like honestly, whenever somebody asks for my help, like, oh, I'm stuck, I cannot get to stages 20, the first thing I always try to recommend to people is get yourself a core 5 champions that can work in all of the dungeons, with maybe just one champion coming out for another one for
Yeah.
specifics such as Fire Knight or like Spider. But basically I was going at the core, and honestly, if I have a look at it, I still have my Shieldguard in there. Like, he was my core.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about this because he was your first 60, right?
Yeah,
Shieldguard.
no regrets. He's amazing. He's carried me even in Doom Tower. Like certain bosses where other people were dying, such as Nether Spider on the previous rotation, or even on
Yeah.
Bommel 50 before I actually build my Master Butcher. I just passed this.
Nice.
But before that on 50, he was the last one alive, and he was one-on-oneing with the boss. Like
You're
this
still
one's
using him. Yeah,
yeah.
you're still using him in a lot of the boss fights, actually.
He's still in there, yeah. He's still in there. And when even on the waves, I think it's him instead of Colhar. But for most of the stuff, yeah, I do use him. He's really good. Like
Crazy, yeah. Actually, I didn't expect to see him in all of these teams.
Yep. He's amazing. He's amazing. Being defense based, he survives so much easier. The passive that cleanses the the debuffs, plus having him in a life steal, plus the termite that he gains when he crits on day 2 is just. He's
Yeah.
just awesome. He's definitely good. Later on, obviously, he's not going to be my main nuker, but he's still going to be my campaign farmer. He's still going to be my... once I get him the right build, he's going to be my solo minnow farmer as well.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, yeah. Well, I was just having a quick look. I was just pulling this up whilst we were talking there. So this is our kind of like the challengers competition. And
Yeah.
I noticed it while we were just talking about your champions, but you've got 11 6-star champions.
Yeah, I spent over 1,000 gems this weekend farming because of the progress missions.
Like, to put that into perspective here, you've got double, as long as they've updated recently,
Yeah.
what Deadwood and YST and Lockers have got in 6 stars. And I
I'm
feel
a
like
whale.
I've been pushing hard on, continuously leveling and getting masteries done and stuff. And I've got 7. So you're 4 ahead. Obviously, pulling a legendary means they need less work to get up to 6-star, but then that only accounts for maybe 2.
That's true.
But yeah, that's a phenomenal amount.
At the end of the day, the thing is like this, something I've been trying to explain in my videos as well, and maybe people don't understand. This is my full-time job, and obviously I have the time to spend a lot in this game. And Basically, this account, from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep at night, which is about 12 to 16 hours, it's open. And I'm
Yeah.
constantly doing something, refreshing arena and doing something on it. And I work from home. I work at the desk. You know, content creation is a full-time job. So I'm
Yeah.
grinding this account like a maniac. And that's how I do it.
But where's the energy coming from then? Because that's a huge amount. Have you got masteries on these guys as well, or are you kind of
Most
short?
of them, like the 6 stars, not all of them. I was just slowly starting to
Pretty
get,
much though. Like, yeah, moving down. I guess the newer ones. I guess probably
yeah, new
not.
ones, not really. But the
So you've
thing
got
is like
masteries
this.
on what?
There's
7 of them.
6, 7, yeah, not sure.
Yeah.
I'll have 6 star. I think they'll do all the first ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is like this. People fail to realize that the game in the beginning throws so many rewards at you that it's insane. Like I finished almost all my challenges. I finished like I pushed really hard. Like I'm 7 days away from getting Arbiter. And I
Yeah.
pushed really high in Nightmare Campaign. Nightmare Campaign gives you like 800 gems, like 10 million silver, shards. So basically I used all the resources I can get. After I get Arbiter, I'm gonna be like on a slow grind. Because my next goal is gonna be trying to open
Wow.
up.
Who are you using to beat Nightmare here? Because I'm up to about here, but not 3-starred all of it. I'm up to like big and stage 7.
Yeah, I'm using Jumarsa and Tomb Lord. That's what I was using.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And this team, for example, for people that say maybe like, oh, I cannot get the Tomb Lord, if you manage to get the referrals, Tomb Lord can be replaced by Chronom.
Yeah.
Same build, get him in a what's it called, regeneration, and just they keep each other alive and just damage.
So is your Tomb Lord doing damage through poisons pretty much?
Poisons, exactly, just poisons.
That's pretty
He's
cool,
in regen,
yeah.
and my Jumarsa's in a triple immortal.
Right.
He's like
Damn, that's
65
actually pretty
HP.
impressive. So you've done.
I mean, I stopped there because I didn't need the Sacred Shard yet. But if I'm gonna go for Sacred Fusion and I'm gonna want that, I'm gonna do it. The funny thing was the Deadlands one where there's the Turvols. If you're gonna see
Yes.
it's now fully 3-star.
Oh yeah.
4 and 5 have Turvols in there. They hit too hard. I could not survive it.
So
It's
what?
like,
You took a 4-man squad in, did you?
I
to
took
do
a
that?
4-man in there, yeah, just to pass it, because I knew I could push then after that. And honestly,
Yeah.
with the way that I was doing, I was jumping on the, on your website and went to the stages to see like, okay, do they have Turvold again? No. Okay, I'm going with 2 people.
Yeah. That's
But
pretty impressive,
that's
man.
the thing. It's lots of rewards. Plus, again, faction wars. Like, I'm 320 stars. Yeah. And the thing is like this, you might.
260. Oh, you got 60 more stars than I've got. And again, I've played quite a lot of faction wars. I feel like I've pushed it well.
Yeah, I did the same. I've been saving lots of champions as well for the sake of faction wars.
Yeah.
That's when some progress. Like, maybe I could have even more 6-stars if I fed everyone. But I'm still, even though it's a competition, I'm really competitive person. I'm like but at the same time, I'm trying to be efficient. Trying to keep the champions that are not going to be efficient for the sake of the faction war. So I slowly start keeping epics, stop keeping rares, putting level 8, 12 gears on them just for the sake of getting those extra stars. Because you know what? Look at how many shards I have. Again,
Well, this is what I was. Again, I'm shocked.
Progress missions.
11 void shards.
I got these, like more than half of them. I got them from a progress mission. Because it's like, if you go in there, let me see if there's still voids. It was like gems, void shard.
Yeah, that's
gems,
true. Actually,
void
like
shard,
almost
gems,
every
void
other
shard.
one
Exactly.
is a void, isn't it? Yeah.
It's a
And
ton
by the
of
way, guys,
resources.
if anyone's thinking, oh, maybe Odd One splurged some cash, the Optimizer's got a program we run. If anyone has spent on their account, it kicks them out of the competition. Yeah, we've already kicked out about 20 people from the competition since we've been running it from the community because they've spent money. We can see that. We can't see how much, but we can see that they have spent money. This account has had no money spent on it. Okay. Yeah, he's been fortunate with shard pools, but also he's been farming and leveling like a beast. I mean, I've just got my legendary. No, I've just got my sacred shard. Actually, I don't even have. I'm so far behind you on missions. It's mad. I'm actually so far behind you on missions.
The thing is like this. I was trying to focus the thing that I saw was viable for my account.
Yeah.
And the first things like this, I always try to get to stage 20 dragon because that's the best one for sake of farming gear, having for champions and all that.
But are you doing that? Are you farming gear? Because
I was.
I can't imagine you really are with your energy.
Whenever there's a tournament, I farm to hit the milestone. if it's worth it, if milestone's good. Like now, for example, there's the ice golem going on. I'm totally
Yes.
ignoring that
You are, because
because
I wondered about that. Because I was thinking at Void Shard,
it's too
maybe you'd
much.
be all over that. Just too expensive.
3,000. If it was 2,100, maybe. But the thing
Yeah.
is, only the void shard's good, and the Titan event points are meh, and everything else under it is crap. It's not worth
Yeah.
it, in my opinion. I'd
Interesting.
rather use that energy, especially because I had to get 4 6-stars the last week, because it was that progress mission of Ascend the Spirit, a Magic, Force, and
Oh,
then
yeah,
Void Champion
yeah.
to 6-star. So because I had to do that, I just went all in on the champion training. Like if you look
Sure.
at my champion training, I'm done, and it started yesterday, or on the Sunday. I'm
Damn, so
almost
you've
done
almost
with
got
it.
another legendary book coming in here.
Exactly. I did pull
Yeah.
like 600 mystery shards for the sake of getting myself further to be able to work on it. So,
Okay.
it's basically at the end of the day, it's all about, I did get the shard pulls, the good shard pulls, but I'm trying to manage my resources. And again, on Clan Boss, I'm only on Nightmare, Because
Yeah,
the
so I
thing
was
is
going to
like
answer.
this.
I normally say to people, like, Clan Boss is one of the areas where you should hard focus. Like, it's just,
I agree.
you start to get the rewards in. And what
I
sort of
just got a
damage you
sacred
doing
this
here?
morning from Nightmare.
Did you?
I
No.
did, yeah. So yeah, that was
So you've not
amazing.
done a hit yet today? No?
No, I wait for affinity because of my Geomancer.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So the way I do my keys, I always try to wait for affinity with my Geomancer. If it's the right affinity, I can almost 2 key, if not 3 key, and then 1 key on brutal. It's not speed tuned, it's not on auto. I manual it to obviously get the best efficiency.
Sure.
But
And
the thing is,
what sort of damage are you doing against Nightmare?
on Nightmare, I usually do between 17 to 22, 23 million. 24 was
Okay.
my max, I think.
Yeah.
And you
what's
see,
your future plan here? Because like you say, you haven't really had Clan Boss champions, but I was starting to see, Geo, Anax, got
Yes.
Batman down here.
Exactly. So what I built, like those 3, I mean, obviously Geo helps in every other area as well because he's a monster. But Anax and Farrakhan, I specifically build them for Clan Boss. But now the thing is okay, I have 2 more spots, and I either need Unkillable champion, Helicath or Manitor with a Pinkeep or whatever.
You know what? As soon as you call a champion name, that's it.
Oh god! Okay,
you know
so I
that's
think I'm gonna
sacred. It's like that.
Yeah, Helicath. Let's
next.
get him. Who knows? I mean, honestly, that would be too broken, but I would not say no.
Yeah.
I would prefer, even I mentioned at the beginning, I don't want to go unkillable with this competition, but because other people already are getting the champions to get the means to Ultra Nightmare, I'm like, if I'm gonna hit unkillable, maybe I'm gonna use them. But the thing is, I'm missing I'm missing the core mechanics still. Decrease attack consistent, ally protection, increase defense, basically the supports. I have the 3 DPS ready. I'm missing the supports. And I have Grizzled Jarl in there that can help. But
I just saw him. So you didn't decide to take him up as a 6-star.
I feel he's power crept. Like, if that decreased attack was on a 3-turn cooldown, maybe.
Yeah.
But still, it's on a 4-turn. It requires 7 books. Then I have the 8.
He's only really viable as like your secondary decrease attack, isn't he? Not
exactly. It's not
primary. Yeah.
It's not reliable enough. So I decided, let me still wait, see what happens. Continue my progress towards getting Arbiter, and then go from there. See what happens. Because I feel like like I said, because it's a free-to-play series, I'm trying to think about this on long term as well. Even though I'm grinding like a maniac, because that's the way I do things. Like last year when I did my free-to-play, day 53. I got Helicath, I had Bible, I did 3 fusions back to back to back. From day 9 of my account, I got a fusion. Day 53, I was doing Ultra Nightmare 3 key. That's because that's how I do it. If I either give 100% of what I'm doing, or I'm not doing it at all.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, what's interesting to me, you didn't unlock the gem mine, which I did. I've maxed mine out. But it feels like that's probably the better way to go. Like you've been able to progress missions and progress through the game a lot quicker than I have. Maybe because you had 1,500 gems more than me to spend to do it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like somebody mentioned this at the beginning of the free-to-play series on one of my videos when I was debating, should I open the gem mine, should I not? Somebody mentioned, and he said to me like this. I don't remember the name, but shout out, thank you for the idea. He was like, wait with the gem mine up until you get to the last part of the Arbiter mission, because you get so many gems there that you can instantly max your gem. Exactly. Yeah. And I feel like that's the best decision. I feel like, last year I was saying the same. After you get your masters on the first champ, just straight up go and unlock the gem mine. I feel like that's not the way anymore. I feel like waiting to get to the last part of the Arbiter missions is the best way to do it. Because then from
So
there you get
with all
so
these
many
champions then, and you've got a lot of shards here, are you thinking, you know, next fusion, for example, the Supreme Elhain, is that a champion you're going to try and pull, do you think?
Yeah, the thing is like this. I might go for her either way, but I'm waiting for people like you and other tier threes. I want to ask you this specifically, if you can do it. I want to see a comparison between her, if you know, if you're gonna get the access to test server, between
Yeah.
her and Gambo. If she doesn't hit harder than Gambo, which most people have from the
Yes.
Prime
Yeah.
code, it's not worth it to build her.
Yeah.
Then.
I was
And I might
also,
even skip her.
I'm kind of interested as well in her versus Dark Elhain,
Yeah.
because I feel like just the two kits side by side, I feel like Dark Elhain has got a better kit.
Yeah, brings
Like
more.
she brings something which nobody else brings, whereas Supreme Elhain doesn't. From what I'm seeing, she doesn't. Like
Exactly.
whereas at least Dark Elhain, it's like, well, we got some anti-Sorath stuff, we've got some anti-Ice Golem, anti-Torment, like there's some pretty cool stuff going on there. I feel like instead of looking at Dark Elhain and improving Dark Elhain to a legendary, they looked at Elhain
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
and turned Elhain into a legendary. And you're like,
Oh,
I feel like they went the wrong way with it. But I've not seen her yet. I've not tested her or anything. So I guess we'll see what she's like. But even if she hits hard, like if she hits really hard, I still don't know if she's worth like a free to plays investment. You know,
I would still not book her. I would build her just for damage, but I would not book her. I mean, that's the reason why I decided to 6-star my Bellower as a Void champion instead of Gambo. I was gonna do Gambo, but because the fusion was announced, I'm like, you know what? Let me wait to see how good Dark Elhain, because she might smack like insanely hard without books even, and then I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna have to build Gambo. If she doesn't, then I'm gonna build Gambo. So that's why I decided to go with Bellower in a stance set, because I feel like he's gonna help me with crowd controlling once I'm gonna start pushing hard Doom Tower.
Yeah. Damn. Well, man, it's a very impressive account. Obviously, we spoke about it earlier. You got lucky with some shard pulls, but also you have done things which I didn't think were possible to do. You're in bronze 3.
Bronze 3,
free as well.
Yep, I did a video on that yesterday saying like, yeah.
That's actually kind of like crazy. Like you're earning versus most an extra or almost double the gold bars per fight.
Even getting to bronze 3 is so much worth it, because for every 3 fights that you win, it's an extra fight if you're in bronze 1.
Yeah.
And that helps you so much, you know, that makes it easier for you to get the Drexar fragments all the time, getting the energy, getting the ancient shard every single week.
Yeah.
It's totally worth it.
No, it's impressive, man. Well, look, congrats. Well done. You're absolutely killing it on the free to play. Guys, I did a collab with Odd One as well. I'm going to link that down below. Make sure you go and check that out. And we're talking about uncommon champions, which actually can change your account. A bit like Shieldguard has done here for Odd One's free to play. But Odd One, thanks for coming on, man. Any last words?
Yeah, thank you for having me. And you know what? I want to say thank you again for kind of like allowing me to join this competition. Because when you announced it last year, I was going to start a free-to-play myself. And I'm like, I saw you say it. So I'm like, oh yeah, can I join? And it's been a blast. Like, I'm having so much fun. And it's amazing to be in this with like several other content creators.
Nice.
Thanks again.
Nice. Well, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. I've been Hell Hades. I'll see you later.